Pregnancy during high-stress situations affects both mother and baby. Studies show that chronic stress can impact fetal development, but strong support systems significantly improve outcomes. This story explores how building chosen family and maintaining emotional bonds can provide protective factors, even in dangerous circumstances. They found the body at dawn. Yoon's corpse lay in an abandoned Queens warehouse, the same warehouse where they'd rescued Soo-yeon 3 months ago. Someone wanted them to remember. Someone wanted them to know that their victory had been temporary. Carved into his chest, in letters that still bled, was a message. "Count your days, Kang." Diana Davis stood in the family's emergency meeting room, staring at the crime scene photos Jin had just shown them. 8 weeks pregnant with a killer hunting her family. She pressed her hand to her stomach, to the tiny life growing there, unaware it was being born into a war. "When?" Kang Min's voice was hollow. "Coroner estimates time of death around 2 a.m., Jin said. He'd been missing for 3 hours before that. Someone took him, tortured him, killed him, and left him as a message." "What message?" the Don asked quietly. Jin pulled up another image, a note written in Russian found beside the body. "The ghost remembers." Diana felt ice in her veins. "Who's the ghost?" No one answered, but she saw the fear in their eyes. This wasn't over. It had never been over. 3 days earlier, Diana Davis had survived a Russian mobster, a warehouse shootout, and a New Year's Eve that changed her life. But standing in a bridal boutique on Madison Avenue, staring at her reflection in a wedding gown, she faced a different kind of terror. Happiness. 3 months of peace. 3 months of wedding planning. 3 months of pretending they were normal. It couldn't last. Diana knew that. In her bones, in her gut, in the way her photographer's eye constantly scanned for threats even in a dress shop. Hypervigilance, that's what it was called. Your nervous system staying on high alert long after the danger passes. Diana had looked it up after the 3rd week of jumping at sudden sounds. "You look stunning," Soo-yeon said, dabbing at her eyes. Kang Min's mother circled Diana like a proud general inspecting her troops. The Korean embroidery along the train, perfect. Diana ran her hands down the silk, still not quite believing this was real. 3 months ago, she'd been a photographer worried about rent. Now she wore a dress that cost more than her old Brooklyn studio's yearly lease. "Girl, if you don't stop looking so serious, I'm going to think you're having second thoughts." Naomi, her best friend and maid of honor, adjusted Diana's veil. "You're marrying the hottest crime boss in New York. Smile." Diana tried to smile, but a wave of dizziness hit her. She gripped the pedestal's edge. "You okay?" Naomi's voice sharpened with concern. "Fine, just haven't eaten today." Yoona, Kang Min's cousin, and their wedding planner, made a note on her tablet without looking up. "The wedding is June 7th, 6 weeks away. That's not much time to lose weight, Diana." There was something cold in Yoona's tone. Diana had noticed it before. The way Yoona's smile never quite reached her eyes. "She doesn't need to lose weight," Soo-yeon said firmly. "She's perfect." Diana caught Yoona's expression in the mirror, a flash of something bitter before the professional mask returned. Another wave of dizziness. Diana's hand went unconsciously to her stomach. Naomi noticed. Her eyes widened. "Oh my God. Diana, when was your last period?" Diana's mind raced back. Valentine's Day. That gala where they'd received the threatening photo. That was 6 weeks ago? 7? It's probably just stress, Diana said quickly. Uh-huh, stress. Naomi's grin was knowing. Girl, you need to take a test. Take what test? Soo-yeon asked, approaching. Nothing, Diana said too quickly. Just checking my blood sugar. But Soo-yeon's eyes were sharp, knowing. A small smile played at her lips. That evening, Diana sat across from Kang Min at their favorite corner table in the family's Koreatown restaurant. Chef Park himself brought out their dishes, galbi, kimchi jjigae, banchan spread across the table. For my favorite couple, Chef Park said warmly. He'd been at the Red Hook warehouse rescue, one of the men who'd risked his life to save Soo-yeon. The wedding menu is almost finalized. After he left, Kang Min reached across the table, took her hand. You seem distracted at the fitting. Mom said you almost fainted. I'm fine, just tired. Diana. His thumb traced circles on her palm. We don't lie to each other. Not anymore. His phone rang before she could answer. Jin's name on the screen. Kang Min's expression shifted. Softness replaced by alertness. He answered in Korean, listened, then went very still. When? He asked in English. Then, who was he? Diana's stomach tightened. Something was wrong. Kang Min ended the call, set the phone down carefully, too carefully. What happened? Park Sung-ho, one of our warehouse managers in Flushing. He was killed this morning, car accident. Kang Min's jaw was tight. Single vehicle collision. He died instantly. That's terrible, but accidents happen, right? Park was at the Red Hook warehouse. He was one of the men who went in for the rescue. The restaurant suddenly felt too warm. You think it wasn't an accident? I think it's been 3 months of peace. Too much peace. Kang Min's eyes met hers. Volkov's in prison, but his organization didn't just disappear. On the drive home, Diana made her decision. My period is 3 weeks late. Kang Min nearly swerved the car. What? I haven't taken a test yet. But Naomi noticed today. The dizziness, the nausea. She looked at him. I think I might be pregnant. He pulled over, just stopped the car right there on the street. Pregnant? Maybe. Probably. Kang Min's hand moved to her stomach, rested there gently. Diana covered his hand with hers. If you are, he said quietly, everything changes. If I am, Diana interrupted, we're going to be parents. Can we focus on that part first? A smile broke across his face, rare, genuine, unguarded. Parents. We'd be parents. They kissed there in the stopped car, with Manhattan honking around them. But the fear came roaring back the next morning. Diana took 3 tests, all positive. She sat on their bathroom floor, staring at the plus signs. 3 of them, undeniable, 6 weeks along. The baby was conceived right after Valentine's Day, right after that threatening photo arrived. She found Kang Min in his home office. He looked up, saw her face, and immediately stood. Diana held up the tests. All 3? He asked. All 3. He pulled her into his arms, just held her. We're going to be okay, all 3 of us. His phone rang. Jin again. Answer it, Diana said. We can't hide from reality. I answered, and Diana watched his face drain of color. Are you sure? Kang Min asked. Then, when? He ended the call, looked at Diana. The wedding florist, Mrs. Moon. She was killed an hour ago. Gas leak explosion in her shop. Diana's hand went to her stomach. She was at the warehouse too? Yes. Kang Min's voice was flat, controlled. 2 deaths in 2 days. This isn't coincidence. Who would? I don't know yet, but we're going to find out. He took her hands. I need to call Dr. Sarah Park. Get you checked out properly. The clinic was in a medical building the Kang family owned. Top floor, private entrance. Dr. Park was waiting. 40, warm smile, but serious eyes. After the examination and ultrasound, she showed them the screen. A tiny blur, barely visible. A heartbeat flickering like a promise. You're about 6 weeks along, Dr. Park said. Due date approximately late November. Everything looks healthy. Diana couldn't breathe. That was their baby, real, alive, vulnerable. However, Dr. Park continued, her tone shifting, I need to talk to you both about stress and pregnancy. Diana, you've been through significant trauma. Your body remembers that, even if consciously you feel fine. What does that mean for the baby? Kang Min asked. Research shows that chronic stress during pregnancy can impact fetal development. Increased cortisol levels, elevated blood pressure. These things matter. Dr. Park's expression softened. But strong support systems significantly improve outcomes. The fact that you have Kang Min, his family, your friend Naomi, that protective network matters just as much as the stress. So what do we do? Diana asked. You build on that support system. You let people help you. Dr. Park looked at Kang Min. And you make sure she feels safe, even when circumstances aren't safe. Emotional security matters as much as physical security. Whatever she needs, Kang Min said immediately. Good, because chosen family, the bonds you actively maintain, the people you trust, those provide protective factors even in dangerous circumstances. Dr. Park printed the ultrasound image. Your baby is growing in a complicated situation, but love, support, and connection, those are powerful medicine. Diana stared at the image, 6 weeks along, a heartbeat, a future. Come back in 4 weeks, Dr. Park said, and call me immediately if there's any bleeding, cramping, or if your stress becomes unmanageable. They left through the private exit. Diana clutched the ultrasound image, this tiny proof of tomorrow. Did you hear what she said? Diana asked as they reached the car. About chosen family being protective? I heard. Kang Min opened her door. We're not alone in this. Your family, my friends, they're our baby's protection as much as any bodyguard. More, Kang Min agreed, because they love us. They were halfway home when his phone rang again. Jin, third call of the day. Kang Min answered, listened. His face went white. What? Diana asked. What happened? He lowered the phone slowly. Yoon, our head of security. He's missing. His car was found abandoned in Queens 3 hours ago. There was blood, a lot of blood. Back to present. Diana stared at the crime scene photos. Yoon's body, the carved message, the note in Russian. Who is the ghost? She asked again. Jin pulled up a file. Alexei Morozov, Volkov's top enforcer, former Russian intelligence. He was in Moscow during New Year's Eve, which is why we never saw him. A photo appeared on screen. Tall, lean, cold eyes. A killer's face. He raised Alexei like a son. Jin continued. When Volkov went to prison, Alexei disappeared. We thought he'd gone back to Russia, but he's been here the whole time, watching, planning, and now he's hunting everyone who was at the Red Hook rescue. How many people? Diana asked. 23 were there that night. Jin pulled up a list. Park Sung-ho, Mrs. Moon, Yoon, 3 dead. We're trying to secure the rest. Diana looked down at the ultrasound image still in her pocket. 6 weeks along, 8 weeks now. A heartbeat growing stronger every day. Dr. Park's words echoed. Chosen family, provides protective factors, and someone was systematically killing their chosen family. He's saving us for last, Diana realized. He wants us to watch everyone die first, to feel helpless. Yes, the Don said quietly. That's exactly what he wants. Kang Min's hand found Diana's, squeezed hard. We're going into lockdown. Full security protocol. No one leaves without armed escort. Diana pressed her hand to her stomach, to the tiny life depending on them to survive. They'd beaten Volkov. They'd have to beat his ghost too. For their baby, for their family, for everyone they loved. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning. Hey family, thank you so much for coming back for part 2. I hope you're doing well. How's your weekend treating you? Are you relaxing? Or are you like me, hooked on Diana and Kang Min's story and can't stop? I know it's a new year, and a lot of us set these big goals and resolutions. So I'm genuinely curious. Are you actually working on yours? Did you start that workout routine, that business idea, that creative project you've been putting off? Drop it in the comments. Tell me what you're trying to accomplish this year. And hey, if you already gave up, that's okay too. No shame here. We're family. Just tell me what's really going on. And listen, if you're feeling that tension building like I am, if you need to know what happens with the ghost and Diana's baby, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next chapter. Drop a like if you're already invested in this family. And seriously, comment where you're watching from right now. Are you in bed, on your lunch break, procrastinating on something? Tell me, because trust me, everything is about to get intense. The ghost isn't playing games anymore. Let's get back to it. They found Yoon's body at dawn in an abandoned Queens warehouse. The same warehouse where they'd rescued Soo-yeon 3 months ago. Alexei Morozov wanted them to know. He was rewriting their victory as his hunting ground. Diana stood beside Kang Min in the family's emergency meeting room, watching Jin present the evidence. She'd barely slept. Every sound in the penthouse had made her jump. Footsteps in the hallway, the elevator chime, wind against the windows. Hypervigilance. Dr. Park had called it that. Diana called it survival. The coroner estimates time of death around 2 a.m., Jin said, pulling up crime scene photos on the screen. Diana looked away, but not before seeing the message carved into Yoon's chest. Count your days, Kang. Yoon was former Korean military, Jin continued. Special forces. It would take someone extraordinary to overpower him. Or someone he trusted, the Don said quietly. He sat at the head of the table, looking every one of his 63 years. Soo-yeon, beside him, her hand in his. We checked surveillance from the area. Jin switched images. This man appears in 3 different camera angles within a 2-block radius of where Yoon disappeared. Diana leaned forward. The man was tall, lean, dressed in dark clothing. His face was partially obscured, but there was something about the way he moved. Calculated, efficient, almost invisible in the way he positioned himself in camera blind spots. Russian, the Don said immediately. Military bearing, intelligence training. His name is Alexei Morozov, Jin confirmed. Known as the Ghost. He was Volkov's top enforcer, former FSB, Russian Federal Security Service. He was in Moscow during the New Year's Eve incident, which is why we never saw him. Why come after us now? Diana asked. It's been 3 months. Because revenge is a dish best served cold, the Don said. And the Ghost is very, very patient. Jin pulled up more files. We did deep background. Alexei was orphaned at 15. Volkov took him in, trained him, treated him like a son. When Volkov went to prison, Alexei disappeared. We thought he'd gone back to Russia, but he's been here the whole time, watching, planning. Planning what? Suyon asked. Jin's expression was grim. We found a pattern. Park Sung-ho, Mrs. Moon, Yoon. They were all at the Red Hook rescue. But there were 23 people in that operation. We cross-referenced everyone who was there that night with recent deaths or disappearances. He pulled up a list. Names appeared on screen, some with red X marks beside them. 4 confirmed dead in the past week, including Yoon. 3 more are missing. 2 reported suspicious incidents they survived. Jin looked at Kang Min. He's working through a kill list, systematically, and you and Diana are at the bottom. Bottom means last, Diana said, her hand unconsciously moving to her stomach. He's saving us. He wants us to suffer first, Kang Min said quietly. Watch everyone around us die. Feel helpless. That's his revenge. The Don stood. We go into full lockdown. Move all families connected to the rescue into secure locations. Double the security details. And Kang Min, Diana, you don't leave the penthouse without a full team. Father, this is not negotiable. The Don's voice was steel. Alexei is not like Volkov. Volkov was loud, prideful, emotional. Alexei is precise. He'll wait for the perfect moment, and we cannot give him that opportunity. Diana felt the walls closing in. Lockdown, confinement. Just when Dr. Park had said stress was dangerous for the baby. As if reading her mind, Suyon touched her arm. We'll make it comfortable, whatever you need. I need to help, Diana said. I can review surveillance footage, look for patterns. I'm trained to see things in images that others miss. Absolutely not, Kang Min said. You need to rest. The baby. He stopped. Too late. The room went silent. Jin's eyes widened. Suyon's hand flew to her mouth. The Don stared at Diana, then at his son. Baby, Jin said. Did you just say baby? Diana felt her face flush. This wasn't how they'd planned to tell everyone, but the secret was out now. I'm pregnant, she said quietly. 6 weeks. Suyon let out a small cry of joy, immediately moving to embrace Diana. Oh, my dear. Oh, this is wonderful and terrible, but wonderful. Congratulations, the Don said, but his expression was troubled. This changes everything. The ghost cannot know. If he discovers Diana is pregnant, he'll use it, Jin finished. The baby becomes leverage. Which is why Diana stays in the penthouse, Kang Min said firmly. No public appearances, no exceptions. What about the wedding? Suyon asked. June 7th is 6 weeks away. We postpone, Kang Min said. Or we move it up, Diana countered. Everyone looked at her. Think about it. Alexei expects us to hide, to cancel plans, to show fear. What if we don't? What if we act like we're not afraid? That's insane, Jin said. It's tactical, Diana argued. We stage an event, something public that he can't resist. And when he shows up, we're ready. The Don considered this. Using yourself as bait while pregnant. The pregnancy is vital work. He won't expect me to take that risk. Diana looked at Kang Min. We control the situation instead of waiting for him to strike on his terms. No, Kang Min said flatly. I won't risk you or our child. You're already risking us by making us sit here and wait, Diana shot back. At least, let me do something. The argument continued, but Diana noticed Jin typing rapidly on his laptop. He looked up, his expression dark. "We have a bigger problem," Jin said. "I just got a report. Someone accessed our security database yesterday, downloaded floor plans, guard rotations, camera positions." "Who?" the Don demanded. The login was Yuna's. Silence crashed over the room. "My niece," the Don said slowly. "You think Yuna is working with Alexei?" "I think someone used her credentials," Jin said. "But we need to talk to her, now." Kang Min was already calling Yuna's number. It rang 6 times, then went to voicemail. He tried again. Same result. "Jin, track her phone." Jin worked his laptop. After a moment, "Last location ping was 3 hours ago. Her apartment in Murray Hill. Signal went dead after that." "Send a team," the Don ordered. Within an hour, they had their answer. Yuna's apartment was empty. Drawers open, clothes missing. She'd packed in a hurry and disappeared. Diana's mind raced. Yuna had been cold to her, yes. Resentful, definitely. But working with a Russian assassin, it didn't make sense. Unless she didn't know, Diana said suddenly. Everyone turned to her. "I don't think Yuna knew what Alexei was doing. She was jealous of me, angry that Kang Min chose an outsider. What if Alexei approached her, manipulated her, told her he just wanted information, or maybe he pretended to be someone else?" "You're giving her too much credit," Jin said. "Maybe, but I watched her at the dress fitting. She's bitter, not murderous." Diana looked at Kang Min. "I think Alexei used her, and when she realized what was happening, she ran." "Either way, she's a liability," the Don said. "Find her and find out what she told him." The meeting continued late into the afternoon. Security protocols, relocation plans, contingencies upon contingencies. Diana felt exhaustion settling into her bones. The baby, her baby, was growing in the middle of a war zone. That night, unable to sleep, Diana sat in the penthouse living room with her laptop, reviewing surveillance footage Jin had sent her. Hours of camera feeds from around the city. She was looking for a ghost, and she found him. There, in the background of footage from outside the bridal boutique. Just a figure in dark clothes, but the way he stood, the angle of his head. He'd been watching her. While she tried on her wedding dress, while she laughed with Naomi, while she felt dizzy and realized she might be pregnant. He'd been there. She found him again outside Dr. Park's clinic, and again near their penthouse building, and again outside the restaurant where she and Kang Min had dinner. "He's been following me for days," Diana whispered. Kang Min appeared behind her, wrapped his arms around her shoulders. "You should be sleeping." "Can't." She showed him the screens. "Look, he's been everywhere I've been. He knows my routine, my schedule, who I see." Kang Min's jaw tightened. "Tomorrow, we implement the lockdown. You don't leave this building." "For how long?" "Until Alexei is dead." Diana turned in his arms, looked up at him. "That could be months. I can't spend my entire pregnancy in hiding. The stress alone. Dr. Park said stress is dangerous for the baby. You heard her. So is getting killed by a Russian assassin. Then let's end this. My plan, the public event, the trap." "No." "Kang Min." I said no. His voice was sharp, final, then softer. "I can't lose you. Either of you. Don't ask me to use you as bait. Please." Diana saw the fear in his eyes, the same fear she felt. But she also saw the impossible situation. They couldn't hide forever. And hiding while pregnant, stressed, hypervigilant, that wasn't protecting their baby. That was slowly poisoning all 3 of them. Before she could respond, Kang Min's phone rang. Jin. Again. What now? Kang Min answered. Diana watched his face go from concern to horrified. When? He asked. How many? A pause. We're on our way. He looked at Diana, and she saw devastation in his eyes. Chef Park. The restaurant was hit 2 hours ago. Incendiary device. He was inside, trying to save the family's recipe books. Is he? He didn't make it. Diana's legs gave out. Kang Min caught her, held her up. Chef Park. Kind, warm Chef Park, who'd made them dinner just yesterday, who'd been planning their wedding menu, who'd risked his life to save Soo Yeon. How many more? Diana whispered. Jin says there are 19 people left on the list. Kang Min's voice was hollow. 19 people Alexei plans to kill before he comes for us. Diana pulled back, looked at him. Then we can't wait. We can't just watch everyone die. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we stop being victims. We survived Volkov. We'll survive this. She touched her stomach, where their baby was growing, unaware of the danger. We have to. Kang Min studied her face for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone, called his father. I want to talk about Diana's plan, he said. The public event, the trap. We need to discuss it seriously. He listened, then 42 days until the original wedding date. That's how long we have to end this, before Alexei ends us. Diana looked at the surveillance screens, at the ghost in the background of her life, watching, waiting, counting down. 42 days, 6 weeks, until their wedding or their funeral. Lockdown felt like suffocation. Diana paced the penthouse, 12 stories above Manhattan, surrounded by guards, surveillance, bulletproof glass, and still, the ghost was winning. 3 days since Chef Park's death. 3 days of watching the city through windows she couldn't open, breathing recycled air, feeling her baby grow in a gilded cage. The penthouse had become a command center, dining table covered in laptops, security feeds running on every screen. Jin had moved in temporarily. Guards rotated every 6 hours. Soo-yeon brought meals Diana couldn't eat, and Diana reviewed surveillance footage until her eyes burned. There, she said, freezing the frame. Kang Min and Jin came to look over her shoulder. Corner of the screen. That's Alexei outside the warehouse where Yoon was found, 4 hours before the estimated time of death. You're sure? Jin asked. Diana zoomed in. The image pixelated, but the posture, the bearing, it was him. He was there first, waiting. He knew Yoon's route, his schedule. Which means he's been watching for weeks, Kang Min said. Maybe months. Diana pulled up another screen. I've been mapping his appearances. He shows up near Kang properties, but also random locations, coffee shops, parks, the public library. She traced a pattern on the map. He's not just hunting. He's living here. He has a base nearby. Somewhere in Queens, Jin said, studying the concentration of sightings. Flushing or Bayside. That's still hundreds of buildings. A knock on the door. One of the guards entered. Detective's here to see you. Says it's urgent. Diana's heart jumped. What detective? NYPD. Detective Ray Martinez. He's investigating the restaurant fire. Kang Min and Jin exchanged looks. Police meant complications, but refusing to see him meant more complications. Send him in, the Don said. He'd been sitting quietly in the corner, watching, calculating. Let's hear what he knows. Detective Ray Martinez was 40-something, sharp-eyed, with the weathered look of someone who'd seen too much. He took in the room, the security feeds, the weapons, the obvious lockdown situation, and nothing in his expression changed. "Thank you for seeing me," he said. "I'm investigating a series of incidents. The restaurant fire that killed Park Jung-won, the gas explosion that killed florist Mrs. Moon, several vehicle accidents, all connected to your family." He looked directly at Kang Min. "You want to tell me what's going on?" "We're being targeted," Kang Min said simply, "by someone with a grudge." "Russian mob?" Martinez asked. "Related to the Volkov situation on New Year's Eve?" So he knew. Of course he knew. Good detectives always did their homework. "Yes," Diana said, before anyone could stop her. "Volkov's enforcer is hunting everyone who was involved in his arrest. We're trying to protect people, but he's always one step ahead." Martinez studied her. "You're Diana Davis, the photographer who testified against Volkov." "That's me. And now you're living here, engaged to Kang Min. Quite a change from your Brooklyn studio." "Quite a change," Diana agreed. "Here's my problem," Martinez said. "Bodies are piling up, fires, explosions, people disappearing, and all of it connects to your family. I can look the other way on a lot of things. I'm not naive about how this city works. But when civilians start dying, when neighborhoods start burning, I have to act." "We're handling it," the Don said quietly. "Handling it how? With more violence, more bodies?" Martinez shook his head. "Let me help. Off the record. I can access databases, put pressure on informants, find this Alexei before more people die." "Why would you help us?" Jin asked suspiciously. "Because I'm a cop, not an idiot. The Kang family keeps order in Koreatown. You prevent gang violence, protect small businesses, maintain stability. Volkov's people, they bring chaos. If Alexei succeeds, if he destabilizes your organization, we'll have a power vacuum. And power vacuums get filled with blood." Martinez looked at each of them. "So yeah, I'll help. Not because I approve of what you do, but because the alternative is worse." Diana watched the Don consider this. An alliance with law enforcement was dangerous, but so was fighting alone. "What do you need from us?" the Don asked. "Everything you have on Alexei Morozov, and a promise that when this ends, it ends clean. No civilian casualties, no collateral damage." "We'll do our best," Kang Min said. "Your best better be good enough." Martinez stood. "I'll be in touch. And Ms. Davis, stay inside. I've seen what men like Alexei do to people they want to hurt." After he left, Soo-yeon spoke for the first time. "Can we trust him?" "We don't have a choice," the Don said. "We need every advantage." That night, Diana couldn't sleep. Again. She stood at the bedroom window, looking out at the city. Kang Min found her there, wrapped his arms around her from behind, his hands settling on her still flat stomach. "You should rest," he murmured. "Can't. Every time I close my eyes, I see Chef Park, Mrs. Moon, Yoon, all the people dying because of us." "Because of Alexei," Kang Min corrected. "Not us." "Feels the same." They stood in silence, watching car lights move through the city like blood cells through veins. Finally, Kang Min spoke. "I've been thinking about names." Diana turned to look at him. "Baby names? If it's a girl, I want to include Yon somewhere, after my mother. She saved us on New Year's Eve by asking you to pretend. Without her, we never would have met." Diana smiled despite everything. "And if it's a boy?" "I don't know. Something strong. Something that means survivor or warrior. Because that's what they'll have to be, growing up in our world. Or maybe something that means peace, Diana said softly. Something to remind us what we're fighting for. Kang Min kissed her temple. When this is over, when Alexei is gone, we'll go to Jeju Island. Just us. No guards, no security, just us. We'll walk on the beach, eat too much seafood, plan the nursery. Real honeymoon, real life. Sounds perfect. It will be, I promise. Diana wanted to believe him, but promises felt fragile when a ghost was hunting them. The next morning, Jin burst into the penthouse, laptop in hand. We found Yuna. Everyone gathered around. Jin pulled up security footage from a bus station in Newark. She bought a ticket to Toronto yesterday. Used cash, but we got her on camera. He zoomed in on Yuna's face, terrified, looking over her shoulder constantly. She's running. From Alexei or from us? Kang Min asked. Both, probably. Jin pulled up more files. I accessed her phone records from before she disappeared. She'd been getting calls from a burner number for 3 weeks, always late at night, short calls, never more than 2 minutes. Alexei, Diana said, has to be. He was recruiting her, feeding her resentment, getting information. Jin looked at the Don. She gave him everything. Guard schedules, Diana's appointments, family routines. She didn't know what he'd do with it, but she gave it to him. She knew enough, Soo-yeon said bitterly. Jealousy isn't an excuse for helping a murderer. Should we go after her? Jin asked. The Don considered. No, let her run. She's not the real threat. And if Alexei thinks we're chasing her, it's one more distraction. Diana felt a strange pity for Yuna. Resentment was such a weak foundation for betrayal. And now, Yuna would spend her life looking over her shoulder, knowing she'd helped kill people from her own family. That afternoon, Diana was reviewing more footage when she froze. Kang Min, she called. Come look at this. She'd found footage from a coffee shop near their penthouse. Date stamped 3 days ago, the morning after they'd learned about Yoon's death. There, sitting at a corner table, was Alexei. And across from him, looking terrified, was Yuna. Diana played the footage. No audio, but body language told the story. Yuna was crying, shaking her head. Alexei leaned forward, said something that made her recoil. Then he showed her something on his phone. Yuna's hand flew to her mouth in horror. He showed her what he'd done, Diana said. She didn't know. She gave him information thinking. I don't know what she thought, but she didn't know he was killing people. And when she found out, she ran. Kang Min finished. They watched Alexei stand, lean down to whisper something in Yuna's ear. The terror on her face was absolute. Then he walked away, disappeared into the crowd, like smoke. He let her go, Jin said, confused. Why? She could identify him, testify against him. Because he wants us to know, Diana realized. He could have killed her, but he didn't. He let her run so we'd know she betrayed us. It's psychological warfare. He's making us doubt everyone. Before anyone could respond, the building's fire alarm shrieked to life. Guards rushed in. Smoke on the 8th floor. Could be a fire. Could be a diversion, Kang Min said immediately. Everyone stay here. Jin, you and I will check it out. Diana, you don't move from this room. He was halfway to the door when the windows exploded. Not broke. Exploded inward, glass erupting like a wave. Diana screamed, throwing her arms up. Kang Min tackled her to the ground, covered her body with his as glass rained down. Then silence, ringing ears, smoke detector screaming. Everyone okay? Jin called out. Diana's ears were ringing, but she nodded. Kang Min had a cut on his cheek, blood running down. The Don was checking Su-yeon. Guards were already sweeping the room, checking for bombs, shooters, any threat. Jin approached the shattered windows carefully, looked out, then down. There, he pointed. 12 stories below, a figure stood on the street, looking up. Even from this distance, Diana could see the cold assessment in his posture. Alexei. He'd set off the alarm, timed the explosion. Not to kill them, to prove he could, to show them nowhere was safe. As they watched, he turned and walked away, disappeared into the Manhattan crowd. Jin's phone rang. He answered, listened, and his face went white. "What?" Kang Min demanded. "Another one." They found Detective Martinez in his car, dead, shot twice in the head. Jin looked at Diana. There was a note, in Russian. It says, "No more help. Count your days." Diana felt Kang Min's arms tighten around her, around their baby. 40 days until the wedding. And the ghost was closing in. The wedding dress hung in the closet, waiting for June. But Diana Davis stood in City Hall wearing a simple white dress, holding a bouquet of bodega roses, marrying Kang Min 6 weeks early. Not because of love, they had that, because they needed bait for a ghost. "This is insane," Naomi whispered, adjusting Diana's veil. They were in a small room off the main hall, preparing. "You're 8 weeks pregnant and using yourself as bait for a Russian assassin. Do you hear yourself?" "I hear that 12 more people have died in the past week," Diana said. "I hear that my baby is growing in a war zone. I hear that hiding didn't work." After the window explosion, the Don had finally agreed to Diana's plan. Stage a public event Alexei couldn't resist. Make him come to them on their terms. The emergency wedding was perfect, supposedly rushed because of Diana's pregnancy complications requiring immediate marriage for medical decision-making rights. It was also completely surrounded by undercover security. Every person in that hall is either family or security. Jin had briefed them that morning. Alexei will spot that, but he'll also know you're vulnerable. Brides don't wear bulletproof vests under their dresses. Except Diana was. Thin, flexible body armor that wouldn't show under the empire waist dress chosen to disguise both the armor and her barely showing pregnancy. "Ready?" Kang Min appeared at the door, devastatingly handsome in a dark suit. But his eyes were haunted. He'd barely slept since they'd finalized this plan. "Ready," Diana lied. The ceremony was small, just the immediate family in the City Hall chapel. Su-yeon cried. The Don looked grim. Jin stood as best man, eyes constantly scanning the room. Diana barely heard the words. She was too busy watching the crowd, looking for movement, for that particular bearing that marked Alexei. "I do," Kang Min said. "I do," Diana echoed. "You may kiss the bride." Kang Min kissed her gently, like she was made of glass, then whispered against her lips, "If this goes wrong." "It won't," Diana said. But as they turned to face their family, Diana saw him. Back row, dark suit, face partially shadowed by a pillar. Alexei. Her breath caught. Kang Min felt her tense, followed her gaze. "Jin," Kang Min said quietly. But Jin had already spotted him. Guards were moving, boxing in the exits. Alexei didn't run. He just stood there, watching. Then he smiled, cold, calculated, and raised his hand in a mocking salute. Before the guards could reach him, he slipped through a service door and vanished. "Go," Jin commanded. Guards flooded after him, but Diana knew they wouldn't find him. He'd come to watch, to taunt, to show them He could get this close anytime he wanted. The reception, the Don said. We continue as planned. He's playing with us. We don't let him see fear. The reception was at a small Korean restaurant the family had secured that morning. Every employee was vetted. Every entrance covered. Naomi was there, along with a handful of others who didn't know this was theatre. Diana played the happy bride, accepting congratulations, posing for photos. But her hand kept moving to her stomach, to the small life growing there, unaware it was part of a trap. I need the restroom, Naomi said after an hour. All this champagne. I'll come with you, Diana offered. Girl, you're the bride. Stay here, smile pretty. I'll be 2 minutes. Diana watched Naomi walk toward the back hallway. 1 minute passed. 2, 3. Kang Min, Diana said quietly. Naomi's been gone too long. Jin was already moving. He returned 30 seconds later, his face ashen. She's gone. Bathroom window is open. There's blood on the sink. Diana's world tilted. Jin held up a note, written in Russian. It says, Trade, your photographer friend for you. Midnight, Pier 17. Come alone, or she dies screaming. You have 8 hours. The ghost. Diana looked at the clock. 4:47 p.m. 7 hours and 13 minutes until midnight. Wait. Pause. If your heart is racing right now, hit that like button. Drop a comment real quick. Would you trade yourself for your best friend if you were 8 weeks pregnant? What would you do? I need to know I'm not the only one stressing about Diana's choice right now. Okay, let's see what happens at Pier 17. We're not making that trade, Kang Min said immediately. She's my best friend. Diana's voice was steady despite the panic clawing at her throat. She's only in danger because of me. And you're carrying my child, our child. I'm not trading 2 lives for 1. That's not your decision. It absolutely is my decision. The Don's voice cut through their argument. Enough. We have 7 hours to plan. Jin, assemble a team. We raid Pier 17 at 11:45 p.m. Get Naomi before midnight. Eliminate Alexei in the process. And if he's not at Pier 17, Jin asked, if it's another misdirection? Then we find out where he really is and we end him. There. Diana sat down heavily, her hand on her stomach. Naomi. Funny, loyal, brave Naomi, who'd stood by her through everything, who'd adjusted her veil this morning without knowing she was walking into a trap. This is my fault, Diana whispered. Kang Min crouched in front of her, took her hands. This is Alexei's fault. Only his. She's in danger because I dragged her into this world. She's in danger because a psychopath is trying to hurt me through everyone I love. Kang Min's grip tightened. And we're going to save her. I promise. But promises felt hollow when Diana remembered Chef Park, Mrs. Moon, Yoon, Detective Martinez, all the people they'd promised to protect. The team assembled at 10 p.m. 20 men heavily armed with blueprints of Pier 17 spread across the table. The pier is exposed, Jin said. No cover, nowhere to hide. If Alexei's really there, he'll see us coming. So we don't come from the front, the Don said. We approach by water. 2 boats, silent, approach, dock on either side. Team 1 secures Naomi. Team 2 engages Alexei. What if Naomi's not there? Diana asked. What if it's just Alexei waiting to kill whoever shows up? Then we kill him first, Kang Min said coldly. Diana looked at the clock. 10:17 p.m. 1 hour and 43 minutes. I'm coming, Diana said. Absolutely not, Kang Min said. He wants me there. If I don't show, he might kill Naomi immediately. Diana, I'll stay in the boat. hidden, backup plan. But if things go wrong, if he demands to see me before he'll release her, I need to be close enough to respond. The Don considered this. She has a point. Alexei will be watching for her. If she doesn't show at all, he'll know it's a trap. She's pregnant, Kang Min said desperately. I'm also the only leverage we have, Diana said. He wants me. That's our advantage. After a long moment, Kang Min nodded, but his eyes promised they'd finish this argument later. The boats left at 11 p.m. from a private dock in Brooklyn. Diana sat in the second boat, bulletproof vest back on, surrounded by guards. Kang Min was in the first boat, preparing to lead the assault. The night was unseasonably warm. Manhattan's lights reflected off the dark water like scattered stars. Diana kept her hand on her stomach, silently promising the baby, I'm going to save my friend. I'm going to end this. And then we're going to have a normal life, I promise. At 11:43 p.m., the boats cut their engines, drifting silently toward Pier 17. Diana watched through night vision binoculars. The pier was empty. No Naomi, no Alexei. It's a trap, Jin said over the radio. Or a misdirection, Kang Min responded. Keep eyes open. 11:55 p.m. 5 minutes to midnight. Then Diana saw movement. A figure emerged from the shadows of a shipping container, dragging someone. Naomi. Bound, gagged, but alive. Diana's relief was crushed by terror when she saw who held her. Alexei stood behind Naomi, gun to her head, scanning the water. I know you're there, Kang Min, he called out in accented English. His voice carried across the water. I know you came, but where is your bride? Where is Diana? Kang Min's voice crackled over the radio. Do not respond. Do not show yourself. I'll make this simple, Alexei continued. Diana comes to me now, alone, or I paint this pier with your friend's brain. You have 30 seconds. Hold position, Jin said. Diana looked at Naomi, terrified, bleeding, about to die. She made her decision. Before anyone could stop her, Diana stood up in the boat. I'm here. Diana, no. Kang Min's voice was raw, but Alexei had already seen her. He smiled. There she is, the bride. Come to me, Diana. Just you, or Naomi dies. Diana, get down, Jin shouted. But Diana was already climbing out of the boat, onto the dock. Alone, Alexei emphasized. Or she dies now. Diana walked forward, hands raised. Behind her, she heard Kang Min ordering the team to hold position. Wait for an opening. She walked toward the ghost who'd haunted them for weeks. Toward Naomi, who was crying behind the gag. Toward the man who wanted revenge more than life itself. That's close enough, Alexei said when Diana was 20 feet away. Diana stopped. Up close, he was younger than she expected, maybe mid-40s, handsome in a brutal way, but his eyes were dead. You killed Volkov, Alexei said softly. You testified, sent him to prison where he will rot and die. He was everything to me, father, teacher, the only family I had. He tried to kill us, Diana said. We defended ourselves. And now I'm defending his honor. Alexei pressed the gun harder against Naomi's temple. Naomi whimpered, trade your life for hers. Diana, don't, Naomi tried to say through the gag. Diana looked at her friend, then at Alexei. I'm pregnant, she said quietly. Alexei's expression flickered, surprise, then something darker. 8 weeks, Diana continued. You'd be killing 2 people, an innocent child. Is that the she honor you're defending? For a long moment, nobody moved. Then midnight struck, and everything exploded into chaos. The first shot came from the water. Jin's sniper, positioned in the boat, targeting Alexei. but the ghost moved with inhuman speed, dragging Naomi behind the shipping container as concrete exploded where his head had been. Kang Min's team stormed the pier from both sides. Gunfire erupted. Diana dropped flat, crawling toward cover. Diana, Kang Min's voice, raw with terror. She made it behind a pallet of crates, just as bullets sparked off metal beside her. Her hand instinctively covered her stomach. Protecting the baby from violence, it was too small to understand. The firefight lasted 90 seconds. When it ended, 3 of Alexei's hidden men were dead. But Alexei and Naomi had vanished deeper into the shipping yard. Kang Min reached Diana, pulled her up. "Are you hit?" "No, but he has Naomi." "I know. Jin's team is pursuing." He cupped her face. "You shouldn't have stood up. You shouldn't have." "I had to. He was going to kill her." A scream cut through the night. Naomi. They ran toward the sound, guards flanking them. The shipping yard was a maze of containers, shadows, blind corners. Perfect territory for a ghost. Diana spotted blood drops on the concrete. This way. They followed the trail to an open area between containers. Alexei stood in the center, Naomi kneeling before him, gun to her head. But now they were surrounded. 20 guns trained on him from every angle. "It's over," Kang Min said. "Let her go." Alexei laughed, cold, bitter. "Over. This is just beginning." He looked at Diana. "You took my father, so I take everything from you, everyone you love, one by one, until you beg me to end it." "Volkov wasn't your father," Diana said, stepping forward despite Kang Min's restraining hand. "He used you, trained you to be a weapon. That's not love. That's ownership. You know nothing." "I know what family looks like," Diana continued. "Real family. The kind that protects instead of destroys. The kind worth building, not avenging." She touched her stomach. "I'm building that now, breaking the cycle." Something flickered in Alexei's dead eyes. "You think you can escape it? This world, once you're in forever." "Maybe, but I choose how deep I go. You're choosing revenge. I'm choosing love." Diana met his gaze. "You can still choose differently. Put down the gun. Let Naomi go. Face justice for what you've done. It doesn't have to end in death." "Justice," Alexei spat. "There is no justice, only power and weakness. I was weak once, never again." His finger tightened on the trigger. Diana saw it happening in slow motion. The muscle tension, the decision made. She moved without thinking, diving forward, shouting, "No!" 3 things happened simultaneously. Naomi threw herself sideways, breaking Alexei's grip. Alexei's gun fired, the bullet grazing Naomi's shoulder. Kang Min's shot hit Alexei's center mass. Alexei staggered, looked down at the blood spreading across his chest. He raised his gun toward Diana one final time. Jin's second shot took him in the head. The ghost fell, silent at last. Naomi was rushed to a private hospital. The bullet had torn through muscle but missed bone. She'd need surgery, physical therapy, but she'd survive. "I'm so sorry," Diana whispered, holding Naomi's hand in the emergency room. "This is all my fault." "Girl, shut up," Naomi said weakly. "You literally threw yourself in front of a bullet for me. We're even." She tried to smile. "Though maybe next time, just introduce me to a nice accountant instead of involving me in mob wars." Diana laughed through tears. "Deal." Kang Min appeared in the doorway. "Police are here. They want statements." The official story was simple. Alexei Morozov, wanted by Russian authorities, had kidnapped a civilian. The Kang family's security team had rescued her. Self-defense. Clean shoot. The police believed it because they wanted to. One less murderer on the streets. By dawn, it was over. Alexei's body was in the morgue. His, remaining men scattered. The kill list ended. Diana sat in the hospital cafeteria, drinking decaf coffee, watching the sun rise over Manhattan. She was exhausted, traumatized, 8 weeks pregnant, and finally safe. Kang Min slid into the seat across from her. Dr. Park is coming to check you out. Make sure the stress didn't... I know. Diana took his hand. But I feel okay. The baby feels okay. She smiled tiredly. We survived. We did. He lifted her hand, kissed her knuckles. But Diana, what you did, stepping forward like that, was incredibly stupid, I know. Was incredibly brave and terrifying, and I'm never letting you near danger again. Good luck with that. Danger seems to find us. Dr. Park confirmed everything was fine. The baby's heartbeat was strong. Diana's blood pressure was elevated, but manageable. You need rest, Dr. Park said firmly. Real rest. No more playing hero for at least 6 months. Yes, Mom, Diana agreed. 2 weeks later, the real wedding happened. Not at a grand venue with hundreds of guests. In Soo-yeon's garden, with only family and closest friends. Naomi stood as maid of honor, her arm still in a sling. Jin as best man. The Don officiating in Korean and English. Diana wore the dress from the boutique. At 10 weeks, she was just starting to show. A small bump hidden by the dress's empire waist. I do, Kang Min said, eyes locked on hers. I do, Diana echoed. This time, when they kissed, there was no ghost watching. No danger lurking, just love and sunlight and the promise of tomorrow. At the reception, Soo-yeon pulled Diana aside. I need to apologize again. For New Year's Eve. For that whispered request that started all of this. Diana touched the older woman's hand. Don't. You gave me everything. Him. This family. This life. She smiled. Even the chaos. I wouldn't change it. You're remarkable, Soo-yeon said, tears in her eyes. My son is lucky. And this baby. She touched Diana's small bump. Will be so loved. The celebration continued into the evening. Dancing, laughter, toasts. Normal, human, beautiful. As the sun set, Kang Min pulled Diana close. Thank you, he whispered. For what? For saying yes on New Year's Eve, for staying, for choosing us. He touched her stomach gently. For giving me a future worth fighting for. We gave each other that, Diana said. They danced under string lights, surrounded by family, safe at last. 6 months later, Diana held her daughter, Lily Yeon Kang, and watched snow fall on Manhattan from the penthouse window. The baby was 3 days old, perfect, healthy, with her father's dark eyes and her mother's stubborn chin. She's beautiful, Kang Min whispered, arms around them both. His family, his entire world. She is, Diana agreed. The past 6 months had been peaceful, quiet. Diana had photographed 3 weddings, a gallery opening, countless family dinners. Normal life with security protocols so subtle she barely noticed them anymore. Lily stirred in her arms, made a small sound. Diana's heart swelled impossibly large. This tiny person had grown inside her through warehouse shootouts and ghost hunts, had survived stress and danger and was born healthy anyway. Dr. Park had been right. Strong support systems made all the difference. Chosen family, love. Those had protected Lily more than any bulletproof vest. Mail came, Jin said, entering the living room. He handed a stack to Kang Min, then paused. There's one that's odd. Kang Min took the envelope. Heavy paper, no return address, postmarked from Moscow. Diana's stomach tightened. What is it? Kang Min opened it carefully, read the letter inside. His face went still. What? Diana asked. He handed her the letter, in Russian, with English translation below. Congratulations on your daughter. She is beautiful, just like her mother. Alexei was loyal, but impulsive. He acted without permission, without strategy. The brother does not approve of such chaos, but neither do we forget debts. Volkov was one of ours, and debts, Mrs. Kang, must always be paid. We are patient, we are careful, and we are watching. Give Lily our regards. The council. Diana looked down at her sleeping daughter, at the tiny, perfect life they'd created. They'll never stop, she said quietly. Kang Min came up behind them, wrapped his arms around both his girls. No, he agreed, they won't. But neither will we, Diana said, remembering what Kang Min had told her once. We survive, we adapt, we protect our own. No, Kang Min echoed, neither will we. Outside, the city glittered like broken glass. Beautiful, dangerous, home. One whispered request had changed everything. Pretend you're my son's fiance. And Diana Davis had found her family, her love, her purpose in the chaos. The Bratva could watch, could plan, could come for them eventually. But they'd find the Kang family ready, because they'd survived Volkov. They'd survived the ghost. They'd survive whatever came next. Together, always together. Diana kissed Lily's forehead, breathed in that perfect new baby smell, and smiled. Let them come. She was a mother now, a wife, part of something bigger than herself. And there was nothing more dangerous than a mother protecting her child. The war might not be over, but they'd already won the battle that mattered. They were still here, still standing, still fighting, still loving. And that was everything. 6 months later, Diana held Lily Yon Kang, 3 days old, perfect, watching snow fall on Manhattan. She's beautiful, Kang Min whispered. 6 months of peace, weddings photographed, family dinners, normal, until Jin handed Kang Min a letter, Moscow postmark. Diana read it. Congratulations on your daughter. She is beautiful. Alexei was impulsive. The Bratva does not forget debts. Volkov was ours. Debts must be paid. We are patient, watching. The council. Diana looked at her daughter, at the tiny, perfect life they'd created. They'll never stop, she said. No, Kang Min agreed. They won't. But neither will we. Diana kissed Lily's forehead. We survived Volkov. We survived the ghost. We'll survive whatever comes next. Together. Always together. She was a mother now, and there was nothing more dangerous than a mother protecting her child. And that's part 2, family. I need to know, are you ready for part 3? Because the Bratva doesn't play. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and comment whether you think Diana and Kang Min can survive another war. Thank you for riding with me. Until next time.